Hi everyone, it's Joni here. Welcome back for day 11 of our painting challenge. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to paint a palm tree and blue sky and some turquoise water. So stay tuned and let's go ahead and get started with the colors and brushes I'll be using today for this tutorial. As always, use whatever you have or whatever you prefer. Just be present and take part in this fun challenge. I've got two brushes I'll be using, a number 20 flat brush and a number 3 round. And the following colors here, we've got titanium white, sap green, phthalo blue, crimson red, and lemon yellow. Okay, we're going to begin the painting by adding a little bit of water to our canvas, and we're going to use our flat brush. And we're going to start painting the background and work our way down to the water. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull into our beautiful phthalo blue, or whatever blue you're using. Pull, turn to load both sides, and let's start pulling back and forth, side to side. Nice long sweeping brush strokes. We're going to have our sky more intense at the top and then have it fade out and get lighter and lighter and lighter. This will help to add and create distance in the painting. Now we can go ahead and take white. We're going to start adding the white into this blue area here, just below the really bright blue up top, and then work it up a little bit. And we're going to continue to add white. Start adding it where you left off and continue to push gently and pull using both sides of your brush. We're going to keep adding more white until we get down to our horizon line, which is coming up pretty soon. Now you might need a little bit of water to help work that paint out of the brush because there's still lots of paint in there. Okay, let's take just a little bit of white and we're going to add that right there where our horizon line is going to be. Now, with a little bit of blue and white still in my brush, you may need to add a bit more. Let's go ahead and take some of our sap green, a little bit of blue and white, and we're going to create this really pretty shade of turquoise. If yours is a little bit more blue or a little bit more green, it'll look really pretty no matter what. So just use whatever your shade looks like and follow along. Now we're going to start on the far left side just below that horizon line, and we're going to pull and then let off. What's left here is going to be our beach. I'm going to add a little bit of water to my brush. I've still got quite a bit of paint in here. All the way down to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to take just a little bit more blue, pulling that blue into there, and I'm going to bring that on the left side and add shorter brush strokes. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is load the end of my brush up with white. I'm going to turn my brush upside down like this, and I'm going to wiggle in, wiggle, wiggle, make these kind of S shapes, and then a light little pull. Let's do that again. And just little wiggles and squiggles like this is going to give us some white caps to our soft, gentle waves coming onto the shore. I'm just going to add a little bit more up here. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out now. And I'm going to add a little bit of white and a little bit of red. Like a soft pink shade. And I'm going to come from the right side and just kind of go around in little circles like this. I'm going to flip my brush over and then lightly pull up and above the water, just to about there, because that'll bring our beach and our island around so that it continues. Okay, now I'm going to add some clouds in the sky that are the same color. Pick up a little bit more white here. And I'm going to just go around in little circles, moving my brush around. If your sky is dry already or wet like mine, both techniques and approaches work. They just might look a little bit different. I'm just rinsing out the excess paint from my brush, reloading with some light pink. Just going to add a little bit. Just a little bit like that is all you need. And now we're going to come in with our palm tree. We're going to mix red and green together to make a nice dark brown shade. And then we're going to just push into the paint to load the end. And we're going to add a sweep. You can start up here or down. I'm going to start down. With the corner of my brush, I'm going to gently push, start to let off right to about there. Then I'll go back down. Because my paint underneath is still wet, it's a little bit lighter because it's mixing in with some of that blue and the white. So if you want, you can dry yours off first if it's a little bit frustrating. Okay, and then I'm just going to tap like this, and that's going to leave some texture on that palm tree. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is mix up some blue, green, and a little bit of red. It's going to give us some nice dark palm leaves to start. And we're going to start from the center corner of our brush, gently push, pull, and then let off. Pull, let off. Give it a little bit more red in here. And then another one right up there. So it's usually pretty breezy in these tropical places, and you get these palm leaves that are kind of just a little wild looking. So if you're not happy with the way yours looks, if you think yours is messy, that's even better. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take some more green, and I haven't rinsed my brush out. We're going to pull like this and gently flick. That's going to give us that instant palm leaf look. And I'm painting wet on wet, so I'm picking up the colors that are still wet below, and that's why my colors may look different than yours. Now don't be frustrated or hard on yourselves if you don't get this brush stroke the first time. It takes practice. It can take a really long time. Or maybe you'll get it right off the bat. You can also kind of pull little lines separately like that if you want, though I find it easier to just do one stroke like this. Now I'm going to rinse my brush out, and I'm going to come in with some yellow. Now I want you guys to look closely at my brush and notice how the bristles are separate and they're not tight together, leaving some lines and spaces in between. I love it when this happens, especially for waterfalls or for when I'm painting ferns or palm leaves like this that need multiple lines. So it's easier to do this than approach it with a little liner brush and painting one line at a time. So again, we'll do this in one stroke. We'll pull up and then flick. Load again. We're going to add some light to these leaves This will help make it feel a little bit sunnier and warm here. Though in general, palm leaves on palm trees tend to have the yellow on them, and even a little bit of like an orange or a rusty red shade. But we're just gonna have it like this. And then we're gonna use our round brush to add the indication that there's some coconuts there. Without painting coconuts, we're just gonna add dabs. So let's take a little bit of yellow, green, and red. That on the end of the brush. And I'm just gonna go over this because I swiped with my palm leaf. And we're gonna scoop up a little ball of paint on the end of the brush, and we're just gonna dab 3 little coconuts like that. Now I'm just gonna take a little bit of yellow and green and add a few little gentle pulls and flicks for a little bit of grass here and there. Be a little bit more generous. Clean brush, a little bit more of that white and red to make a soft pink. And we can come in here and add a little bit more to our cloud. So I showed you how to make those clouds first with the flat brush, and just to show you, you can also use the round brush the same way. Less is more. I love how quick, expressive, and joyful this was to paint. Okay, hope you guys all enjoyed day 11 of Painting Every Day in August challenge. I can't wait to see you all back here tomorrow for day 12. Bye!